All right, stream number, where are we at? 47 today. Number 47, I'm putting it in. This says it's day 4 already of Shinobi Samples. Shinobi is a ninja character, and it's my next focus for my comic book samples. So what we're doing today is kind of, we're doing everything on computer, on the iPad, but I've been so used to jumping in on paper, and I don't know, I just feel so much better about everything when I do it traditionally. So we're going to jump over to the artboard in just a second. I'm going to get the chat up and running here. Let's see. Let's do this. Art desk, right? Art desk. There we go. Phone is over there. Not the one I wanted. No, still not the one. Better, better. I think that's not too bad. Let me bring it down just a little bit. When I get to the mic, is this too loud right here? If I start talking crazy over here, is it blown out? Let me know, because I can talk this loud. If that blows things out, then let me know. All right. So I made a dumb mistake last time. I was saving over my scene file on the iPad with a JPEG, so there was no layers, and I saved it on. What did I save it on? I saved it on like a white page, so I had to go into the video itself and grab all the things we needed. Which is a good thing because I don't know, as much as I use digital and like it, it's good for a lot of things. It just feels so much better when I use, when I do everything on paper and traditional. Everything just feels better. So today we're going to do, instead of doing the breakdown and everything on the iPad, we're going to do it on paper, like old school. And then we'll scan it, and then I'll blow it up. So the first one we'll do, let's see. I don't know if I want to do it on plain paper. It's a little light. Let me see. That'll do. It's about the right size. It's almost exactly the right size. Could do it on this piece of paper. It's a little better, a little bit better. I don't know. Not sure. Okay, so last time what we did was, these are really blurry because they're, but I like them because they're like, it's like story time, you know? So last time we did this, and then, well, first we did this, which is the breakdown of everything that's going to happen. So this, you want to do this breakdown, a written breakdown, and I might take this to another step. I did a video on this. It's called 3 Awesome Ways to Prep for Comics. I think that's on my, should just be on my comic penciling section. You can go to that, and all this is covered. But so step 1 is to do this. Step 2 is to kind of make a map, and we'll do that. And then step 3 is to do the head turn, which we already did. So, which is over here somewhere. Alright, so here's our head turn. Put that there. And that actually tells me how angled this thing really is. You know, all right. But so we have a head turn. We have the head turn. We have this breakdown. The only other breakdown I like to do on top of this is, so the way it works is, this is like a plot breakdown, right? Like what happens. This is the truck driving, what's the establishing shot. The next thing I like to do is, how do I achieve that end result in the most efficient comic way? And I say comic way because it's not necessarily, I don't know the best way to say it. Comics are not movies. Comics aren't books either. You know, they are books, but they're not novels. So there are its own kind of breed, and there is a unique way that you could tell it with comics, and that's my second breakdown. So we'll probably do that first before we move on, because before we do that, then we start doing some rough breakdowns of things, and potentially that's where we draw the map if we're having trouble. So I'm putting this over here, moving this off to the side. This first page I measured up already. So I do 2 different stages. Like this is something I grabbed from Alvin Lee way back in the day. If you watch his Noman videos, he does it like this. So he does two different sets of thumbnails. One, it's not super needed. I consider those just rough sketches. But if you're not used to doing a lot of sketching or getting your ideas out real quick, it can be tough. So these seem a little bit, let's see, 5, yeah, I knew it was like an inch short. Felt like it was like an inch short over here. Should be a little bit wider. I knew I did a mistake. So he does two sets of thumbnails, and I prefer doing it that way too. When I did my Green Lantern samples 3 years ago almost, when I first started the YouTube channel, if you go look at those, it's my actually most viewed videos, are those videos. But in those videos I do this. I do a set of thumbnails, and then I do half page on 8x11 like breakdowns. And then from there I bring it to the comic book page, and by then you should have a good grasp on what you're about to draw. And the more you are experienced, the easier that process is going to be, obviously. Really can't make a straight line right now for some reason. But yeah, that's the idea. Okay, so these are about comic book proportions. So this is why I do these lines pretty straight. That way, when I get to this stage, I'll have like a decent idea about how wide and whatnot it should be. Let me see. Yeah, that's right. Like 7, almost 8. Yeah, that's about right. All right, so we'll have this side, and then on the other side I'll do another page. But before we do that, let's jump to the quick ones, the quick thumbnails. And these, we'll draw out just a few. We probably can fit like 4 on these, on this page, maybe. Yeah, 4 instead, or maybe even 6. Should be more like, let's see here. I'm just going to draw a straight line across. And then look for about the length of the comic page. Because we're trying to fit 6 or so in here. You can always go more rather than less. Could be a little bit more, but straight, but whatever. Alright, so down here, same thing. Let's move up a little bit. And we'll jump into it. Alright. So now, our pages are like this. Seems about right. So these are like thumbnails, right? These are like, you probably could fit 8 on here if you really wanted to. You could probably fit more, but I'm just separating them out by a few spaces, you know. Trying to keep them all about the same. Okay. Alright, so these are like our in-betweens, gutters, if you will. And then these will be our pages. Literally, I could have added one more, but I like to have a little room between them. Gives me room for different things. Alright, so I might even on the back do this. So we have our breakdown, which is page 1, which is all we're going to worry about today. Because I've already worked out like the plot. It's going to work no matter what. But so far I have 7 panels right now to make page 1 work. And we got, let's see, let's go through them. So page 1, I need an establishing shot with the truck. And we'll have 2 different columns here, because the next column, like I said, is kind of how do we, what's the best way or a cool way that we could do it to show it. And you want to like kind of not make it too novel, maybe, you know? You want to keep clarity, but I would say execution maybe over here. How do you execute it? Let's see. Driver POV checkpoint. Then family taken. I'm going to explain all this as I go afterwards. Guy gets beat up. And then Shinobi shows. Okay, so this is hidden, right? Alright, so so the truck is pretty straightforward because it's an establishing shot. So usually I don't have to point out how best to do it. It's all about what we want to show. If we want to be more mysterious, then we show less. If we want to be more clear, we show more. And since I need to show settings, so showing more is better in this case. So wide angle, and probably not super low to the ground or high to the ground, probably higher than not. So when you're doing, here's another point, guys, and it might be another column. You could make it another column if you want. Don't always do this, but sometimes on my like important stories, like in Star Circuit right now, my book, that if you're interested or curious, it's at the bottom. The links are at the bottom of the page. Not the links, but the URLs. So the last column is this thing that I learned from storyboarding, which is every scene, pretty much every beat should have a, I mean, not necessarily every beat, but every clump of like situations should have a positive or negative connotation to it. And it seems like we could break this up into 3. So the way to break it up is this. I'd go this is 1 positive, negative, positive. So we're looking at, and if your story doesn't have this, it means that something is going awry, because you're not going to have enough drama. Pretty much if your hero is always safe, or if your villains are always got an upper hand, you don't create drama, or at least interesting drama. You do create drama, but the most interesting is contrast. So you want, you know, this is white, then this is black, this is white. You know, it's positive, negative, positive. So this is kind of like, you know, how the way it's explained to me, this is by Steve On, storyboarding, is like batteries. So like just like batteries is a positive and negative polarity. Is that the way to say it? Or charge? Is that what? Charge, probably? Okay. Just like batteries, lining up like batteries. You know, you're never going to put a positive next to a positive. So I clumped him like this because the first shot is of the truck. It's a happy scene. Shinobi is the hero, so we see him here, and he's the hero, so it's not like a negative. And then another shot of the POV of the checkpoint, but you're still looking at the family. It's not necessarily bad yet, but then when we get there, the family is clearly taken, kidnapped. The guy gets beat up. That's both negatives, and then Shinobi showing up to save the day, or at least confront, is the positive again. So I'm doing this all without music right now. Super psyched about doing comics, so I guess that's why I'm off the usual path here. Let's put on some beat dowsing, just because I always do, because it's a no-brainer. Oh, Alexa, connect my phone.
Searching.
All right. Good. All right, so a little background music. That's never a bad thing. All right, so here I've got a dull 2H that I keep around for these type things. Well, let's do these breakdowns first. So wide angle is a good way to show the intro shot. Shinobi hidden. I mean, it could be shown a few different ways. And it's all about how you want the viewer to feel. We either want them to feel like it could be some bad thing, or we want them to know really what it is. I'm thinking that we need to focus on it being a good thing, potentially. But cool, no matter what. You know what I mean? I think I want to have him, like, I don't know, in a weird, sneaky position. Not just, like, in the back of the truck, which I originally thought. So, these breakdowns of execution sometimes coincide with, as you start sketching, you figure them out. So, like, I don't really know the best way I'm going to make that interesting and execute it well on the second panel. So as you see, there's 7 of them. So anytime we're able to combine them, it's going to be better. So I don't think we're going to be able to show these two separately or combined. So that's definitely not happening. But the only one I do see is these two. I might be able to show Shinobi hidden on the back of a truck while it's in the intro shot. So let's kind of jump in and we'll fill those in as we go. All right. Last time we did, like I said, a few of the images that we'll use. Let's see. What am I missing? Oh, it's on my iPad, I think. Let's see. I'm looking for the other shots that I did. There we go. I do have them. I just want to see what I did. So, alright, so this is the first one. 7 panels have to fit in this thing. So for that to work, you really need to pay attention to size. Now, generally, a horizontal shot will allude to some peacetime. Now, vertical comic panels are usually read quicker, and so they're less tranquil, I'd say. So if you want this to be a peaceful ride down, like you can see the iPad, if you want this to be a peaceful ride in this truck, then yeah, we need it to be horizontal. Alright, so up here, and it doesn't have to be super detailed for something this small. I know I've done it bigger already, so I have a little bit of a better idea. I almost want to, because right here I got farmland in the back. I could make it more mountainous just to have more appeal, but I think the farmland makes it apparent that it's peace times over here, you know? And I could make it an interesting farmland with like some interesting buildings if I want. So let's see. And we could do a number of these. We can knock these up pretty quick. Last time I made it a little smaller on the panel. This time, maybe if we can try to get a chance to show Shinobi, we might want to draw the truck bigger. You know? You guys can see this? It's pretty small. I can zoom in, potentially. Alright, so it's like this. We're in Japan, by the way. So it's got this like very cutesy looking truck. And I kind of want them to carrying like, I don't know, cables or something, or, you know, some sort of, I could make it boxes, but either way it has a tarp on top. Now Shinobi, I could have him like on top or something. Whole point is he's like hitchhiking on this truck. So since I've moved this truck bigger, I may want to have the curve go farther back, like this. And then have this be farmland over here with a building, you know, silo. And then over here, maybe the mountain landscape. Could be more farmland as well. So that's a good first attempt. We'll keep moving on. And our next shot is him hidden. So in this shot, we will try to make it apparent that he's there hidden. I'm widening in the road, so maybe I can do this vertical panel here. There's got to be 7 of them, so this vertical panel to the left. I could stick one like very small to show Shinobi there, so to leave a lot of room for some other ones. Okay. So to make vertical panels work in a horizontal way, you just have to tilt the horizon line. So it's a good trick. So let's just pretend if this is something you can pick up from the masters, if you do enough studies, you just notice it. There's only a certain amount of weight. Like you can either have a vertical panel that actually uses use a blunt end here. You can either have a vertical panel that actually has a lot of vertical stuff like buildings and stuff, or you can rotate the horizon line. Let's just say the horizon line is now this way, and you can tilt your paper, draw your figures. Let's just say the guy's face is here. You know, this could even be the Shinobi shot. We'll make that him. So we draw his face, the nose, He's there. Maybe this is the tarp. He's underneath the tarp looking out. And we can see like the road passing by or a car or something. Either way. Obviously I tilted it a little much, but to make it fit, make a horizontal thing fit in it, you'd want to, finesse it, but that's how you do it. Now this vertical panel will work. It just needs to be more or less finessed. That's it. So I'm going to erase that way we don't get confused or smudged or whatever. Cool, back to it. That's essentially what I'm going to do, but have it the other way. I don't know if you can even see this small, it's pretty tiny, but that's the whole point with thumbnails. So I'm drawing his head and body, and we're kind of looking up at him. We could use the frame to physically be the tarp, maybe, for the truck, and maybe this is like the truck bed. Who knows? We can always try it. In this case, we probably want to show more of the truck to loot. Like, if you don't get that he's on the truck, there's no point. So we're just gonna erase away. It doesn't have to be too much, so we're gonna do other ones. Okay. Let's show. Like, Shinobi could be underneath the truck. And if that's the case, let's do one where he's underneath the truck. I don't know if I'm going to go with it. It's a unique shot though, because it'll be fun because I can use the panel border itself to be the underside of the truck if we want. Not even the panel border itself, but at least it'll work horizontally if we want. So we can do this. Have a wheel up front and a wheel in the back. Maybe even show more at the top of the wheels. Alright, so say those are wheels. Now he's underneath. We'll have his head turned toward us. Seems a little ridiculous. That's why I'm not super into it, but I think it's possible, man. I think Ninja Dude would be able to do this. He's gonna have to have his scarf wrapped around his hand or something, because the whole scarf thing. He's got a long red scarf. Alright, so that's a thing where it can be another long panel, literally Shinobi underneath this thing. Would be funny and at the same time effective, but we'll see. Alright, so let's see. Shinobi hitting on the truck. We can put in truck under panel, or let's see, shadows, tarp. We have to figure out if there's a way to describe that for our situation. Driver POV checkpoint. Okay, so this one we have it. It's another horizontally shot, so I feel like that this one won't work just because it's so horizontal, just like the rest. Um, this is very balanced though. I like how this is balanced, this is not balanced. So you're getting like this, you know, asymmetrical then symmetrical. So this one, we'd want to be another asymmetrical shot. So maybe we'd do this from over.
What can we say to convince you to take all of the boundaries down? To stop limiting what you believe can be yours?
I'm gonna keep this as what's. Gotta see my next shot after this. Family taken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 6 here. What's the 7? I'm missing one. Let's see. Checkpoint. Oh, driver at gunpoint. We were missing that. It goes into this column, so driver, gunpoint, and then family taken. It still goes into the negative spot. So next one's gunpoint. We want that one to be bigger, I think. So we're gonna keep this pretty small. I have this shot too. After that, let's see. All right. I'm gonna do over a little bit over this guy's shoulder. He's gonna be looking at them.
If you ask us how much time you need to devote to this, we will say.
And then the rear view is gonna allow us to show perspective here. Woman's face and then a kid's face looking over, kind of freaked out. It's always tough to do these shots where you gotta show a reaction and like the catalyst to it all in the same shot. So we just really need silhouettes. A few things like silhouettes of dudes out here, which right now they're just gonna be stick figures really because I don't even have room to delineate any of that. But yeah, as long as there's like opposition and then maybe like this gate. And I might use that side of the window to show the panel. I think I know this one's going to be more vertical. So this one here, this one's this one. Now depending on where Shinobi is, that'll depend on what we're doing here. But this one really just needs to be this guy getting pulled out the window really. Maybe his hat's already fallen off because he's getting pulled out the window. This guy's here. Not going to do a whole lot with this panel if I don't scoot over, but it's all good. I'm going to scoot that window over. Now the farmer guy is getting pulled at. Now it shows enough room for this guy to be at gunpoint. Alright. So, we're left with, that's 4 of them, so we have 3 panels left. So I think we could keep them all this vertical, because we could do like a horizontal 2 and then 1 if we wanted to. I don't like to do that really, because then you have to lead the eye an extra way, because you'll read it wrong if you don't. Alright. However, if we do verticals, I think I'm going to leave this one blank in the middle here, but I need enough to show them getting pulled out. Let's see. So on this one, the family gets taken, right? So I have a shot of him looking through the truck. And it still could happen that way. You're just like limiting the function of, like, I'm just trying to show the reaction at the same time, like I said. Like on one hand he's getting at gunpoint, and then the next second he's the girls are getting taken. So we can do 1, 2. Her hand reaches out. Daddy, no. No, Daddy, no. That's the best. Not laughing at these unfortunate souls, but they're getting pulled out the door. I think that was from, what is that? Mr. Deeds. It's from Mr. Deeds. No, Daddy. So, hand. I think it's got to be a little girl, 2 girls, and Daddy. And then Daddy's like, nah. Alright, it's good enough. I feel like that silhouette has got to be worked on, obviously, but I think that works. I like doing it from inside because it's claustrophobic, right? So, alright. Alright, so I do have this shot, which I actually really do like. I think we're just going to have another silhouette shot of these guys, or mostly silhouette shot. So, we're just going to have a bunch of dudes pointing their guns at him. And he's on the floor beaten up. There'll be 3 of them here. Like I said, one with the crowbar. But yeah, this will be silhouettes. Maybe one like about the curb stomp them, who knows? I don't know, man. I might say Deeds. Like True Sandler, you're right. It probably ended there, but I think Deeds was decent for his family-friendly versions. All right. And then this last one is Shinobi showing up. Alright, so a few things I want to cover here. I mean, just for myself, not for teaching anything. I'm just trying to figure out how do you make Shinobi oh, thanks, man, for letting me know about the mic. What was that? Just trying to figure out, is it clear that Shinobi's there? I don't have a scene where he flips off the truck, right? The whole idea is that he chooses to help them, but I don't think that's going to be translated. It seems like, if anything, he abandons them for a minute. You know what I mean? So maybe I come up with another scenario. I don't know. Let's see. Truck's driving. There's the checkpoint. Ooh, I like that idea. Alright, so I'm thinking forget about him being on the truck. He just happens to spy this stuff happening, right? And so that's going to be done by a high angle shot, probably probably when he gets interrogated at first. Maybe with when he gets pulled at gunpoint. We're gonna have extra room. Well, this is why you have all these panels, or these extra little spots, because you want to try it again. Alright, so I'll give another little version of panel 1 here. But I like the size and everything. It seems like it's about right. We'll go a little bit thinner just because. This time we're gonna go this way. Maybe have a bridge. There's the bridge. Mountains. That truck. This is a bridge. You'll probably see some of these like struts and stuff. It doesn't need to like look like a bridge right now. It just needs to like be apparent that there's some other thing on the road. All right, and the direction needs to be kind of correct. All right, cool. That's following the eye this way. So now let's bring it back this way on this shot. And to do that, I think we just show the family happy, maybe. There we go. Mom and daughter here. He's got his hands on the steering wheel, 9 and 5 or whatever. He's driving well. And then over here, same thing. Yeah, that's the truck facing this way, really. Could work. I may want to do it inside the truck without the frame to show the emotions and everything. Play some more music here. Let's see. Let's do some Shinobi. How about that? All right. Yeah, like I said, we probably want to pull. I don't know how many of these like small ones I want to do since we drew so many already. So I'm gonna try to end it here. So I'm gonna try to make this a little better. So to see what we want to see, we need to see steering wheel, dad, hat, and he's looking this way, smiling, or maybe looking forward probably is the better route. Let's not teach the kids to look away from the road. Maybe he's got a beard, I don't know. I don't know if the Japanese can grow beards that well. No offense or anything, I'm just saying. I don't know how many I've seen that have beards. I'm trying to remember. It's Mr. Miyagi. I forgot what that dude's name was. Did he have a beard? I think he did, actually. But I don't think I think he was Korean or something, not Japanese. Alright, so his window is going to be here. That's going to show we're in the truck. And maybe cut off the panel this way to show the other end of the truck. Here's the mom and daughter. They're smiling. Yay! Alright. I love drawing stick figures. That's what I'm talking about. So there. I think that flows well because there's this like negative space that's kind of pushing it, which is an interesting way. All right. From this point, they're looking that way, so let's have the truck keep driving that way. Maybe we'll do this vertical panel here. So the idea is that we'll do a kind of a 3-point with a vertical thing going on here, where we'll show like the silhouette of Shinobi. Let me get the truck in there first. We may have to have that behind the wheel shot of what they're seeing. Maybe a little big. Maybe we'll cut this off up there too. I like how all these are widescreen. Cinematic style. Here we go. This is the original shot, which we see the family here, and then the windshield. Rear view, and then out front we see the enemies. Again, stick figures. And then a gate kind of thing. All right. So, all right. The next panel, we probably want to go with a, like I said, we need to show this guy getting interrogated, right? We're going to show it from a top down. The truck's facing this way. Or maybe we hit the other side. Oh, it'd be almost the exact same thing. Truck's up here. Or it could be at the bottom. Trying to figure out where I'm going to put Shinobi, so that's why I'm like, take me a while to decide this. So it all depends on the 3-point perspective here. Stick them up here on like a building perch. But then we need a little more room. Tough. Tough to figure this out. It's all worth it in the end, guys. If we have them stuck up here, maybe the scarf is blowing. So this is the truck now. And we might just have the guys point their guns at this guy. Be a little more clear. Yo, what up, Kenton? Alright, so I think that'll work better if we do it that way. And then we can have 2 panels here, and then a vertical again for Shinobi. So Shinobi, the same one over him over here, we're going to put, it's the one where he's standing over him. Scarf and all. I probably want the scarf to come down here a little bit. Help lead the eye. This guy's pretty much done for on the ground. I'll leave his hat on the ground maybe. Okay. Alright. Like I said, this is probably the last small one we'll do, because I'm getting a feeling that this is, between a couple combinations of things, we got what we want. So here we got them like raiding the truck. The next one is, we'll see the bill of the hat and his nose maybe, screaming maybe, and then on the other end is guys pulling the girl and the woman away. Like I said, the kid's hand, the mother, and they're just getting pulled out. And then down here is the I don't think we're gonna have the guy silhouetted like that. I think we might have the guy like this, kind of defeated, and the truck driving away with them on it. I think that'll work. And then this one leads up this way. I think that'll work. Alright, so like I said, we break it down. It turned out, what do we turn out? We're killing this shot, which is Shinobi hiding on the truck. It feels weird. We kept this shot, kind of the POV, I think. Yep. But we added, instead of this one, we added I think to contrast with the bad stuff that's going to happen, we need to show the family happy. Family happy. And that's like interior. This one sweeps center. We can write, I drew it in there, but it's like a center shot. And it's showing him the importance of what's about to happen. Center shot. And then the key choice here is driver at gunpoint, but Shinobi on a building watching, which is Shinobi silhouette. Silo. Family taken, that's normal. Guy gets beat up is going to be more like guy is beat up, truck drives away. It's not really execution, but it's a change. And then Shinobi shows. That's going to be just a upshot. Upshot, you know, heroic. Alright. So these others, we'll save this for page 2 and page 3 down here. We'll use those later. But let's do a refined page 1. How about that? Let's break it up a little bit. Now if you guys see this little post-it note, I think I'm gonna put little post-it note quotes up here. I won't bring them up every time, but this one is kind of one I liked. It was from Stephen Colbert in one of his interviews, and I don't know, he's an interesting dude, super smart. Don't believe everything he says, obviously, but this quote is awesome. He took it from somebody, obviously, but I think, you know, it just speaks to the, you know, the balance of comfort versus growth. So it's like, how much do you get out of your comfort zone in order to grow, you know, that sort of thing. So, but yeah. Your art sucks? No. Your faces that I've seen have somewhat of, you know, structure. You know, I would say draw more lines underneath to line up the eyes, line up the nose and mouth with the crosshairs or whatever you want to use before you lay them in. Maybe you do that already, but keep doing that. The more structure you add, the better. Yeah, it's good. It's the nervous quote, and it just, like I said, it speaks to the comfort zone, and it doesn't fit in context all the time, but to me, it just reminds me I'm doing the right thing as far as growth. If I'm a little bit shaky, a little bit nervous about the future, the way I think about it is like I'm not like a professional comic artist yet, and there's not a guarantee it's going to happen, and it's not a guarantee that I'm going to get close. I mean, maybe there's a guarantee of that, but there's that mystery, and that chance of failure is what makes it exciting, and that's what makes the growth happen. So put yourself out there a little bit more, and I think that's the moral of this post-it note. Alright, so I'm going to take a combination of these two. I'm pretty sure, so my AC went out last night. So I barely slept. And then all day I was working in like 85-degree weather while they fixed my AC. Sucked. Alright. So, stick you over here. I might even want to stick that one down too. I don't know. Maybe not. You see this? Alright. True, very true, Jeremy. No, but I believe that you can obviously always have less or more experience, and you know, the more you do it, the better you'll get. That's just how it goes. You know, you know, if I went, I don't know, I'm trying to think of, if I went skateboarding right now, I'd totally suck at it. Pretty sure. I still have that longboard though. I haven't used it in years, but maybe I should use it or sell it. Anybody want a longboard? However, I am going to sell my fight stick. Anybody want a fight stick? Got a PS4 fight stick. This is one of these sacrifices we're talking about. There's no way I can ever try to get good at Street Fighter anymore. I just admire from a distance. Alright. So, I'm going to sharpen up. Alright, so you see how the size change here? This is kind of key. It's kind of like the, just big enough to get the breakdown of everything in there. And I wouldn't even say you need to go detailed with it. I'm sharpening because that way I don't have to worry about it the whole rest of the night. Alright, so what does this turn into? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Still a 7-page shot, panel shot, but what can you do? Let me go make sure the air is actually working again. Let's go. Want to hang out on stream? Want to hang out on stream? It's gonna be in the camera. Alright. Roscoe came to hang out, guys. It's my little dog. It's my little dog. Oh. Roscoe feet. Yeah. Alright. What's up, Roscoe dog? Let's draw. You want to sit in my lap while I draw? Okay. Alright, Roscoe dog. This time I'm going to really use a ruler this time. Kind of see they're all pretty thin. I need to leave a lot of room for what happens at the end. So, no worries. Alright, let's draw this in here. I know the panel set up, so we can lay those in first. Little Durg, he's on my lap now. Yeah, you gotta give the people in your comics FaceTime, otherwise it just doesn't become, you know, a human affair. That's why we're doing it in the first place, right? Or for the most part. Sometimes I think I'm not doing it for the human effect. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I don't need humans in my comics. And I probably will lean toward that in my later career. Once I get famous, guys, I'm going to try to make comics without people in them. See how well they do. They'll be tough, for sure. But alright. 3 of those panels. That seems about right. This one kind of needs a little bit more than the rest. Like this one can be fine, being pretty thin. It's an upshot. It'll be fine. This is the one I'm worried about over here. Right. Let's see here. I think that'll play all right. It's a weird. Oh, I've never done a page like this where it's so like very stripped feeling. Oh no, that's right. There's one more. Forgot we need to have. Ah man, and for that reason I might need to give it a little bit more room. I forgot these are split another time. I'm probably going to give the top panel a little bit more room. Let's go to there. Yeah, some of it. I know Alvin Lee has the Noman videos, and this is pretty close to his technique on the schools and one too. It's pretty much the same thing. It's a little different. Noman is more like this. I like doing it this way because I just like working on paper, and to walk it through. The more I walk it through and do these steps, the better they come out. And I think eventually, once I do enough pages, I won't really need to do them this detail, but for now we're doing it this way. Usually I think usually if you're questioning if you should do something more preparation, the question is always do more preparation, unless you're in a deadline and just need to focus, and in that case pick the best pages, the most complicated pages, and do the most preparation on those, and then the remainder of the pages don't. And I know Jim Lee pointed that out a couple times about skipping to the pages that are important, not working chronologically for that reason, skipping to the pages in your book that are the most important, the money shots, even not necessarily all the money shots of action, but all the FaceTime shots that are important to the story. Skip to those, then come back, and you can, if you have to rush through a couple pages, go for it. All right, so this is what we'd call the thumbnails. This is layouts. All right, so I think I do prefer if it all goes right to left. I think that'll work best. So for that instance, we're going to do the first shot here, this one. All right. Turn in the page just to get straighter lines. I made the truck more head-on this time. And you need to kind of break down what you've been doing. Not essentially this far to like ruler, but I am anyway. Oh, you guys wanted to see a cool technique? I mean, I could save it for a final page, but I figured out a cool technique for perspective. And yeah, it's pretty neat. I was pretty impressed with myself. Anyway, putting in a few perspective lines just to see. I've looked at this truck a few different times, so I'm not using reference. Though I could and make it more accurate, so maybe I will do that. If Roscoe will let me. Let's see. I think I did put it in my Dropbox. No, yes, yes, no. Let's see. Files, reference. There we are. Nice. Truck. Hi, truck. So it is a little slanted. Thought it was a little more stiff. I'm not worried about. Just more like proportions. That's mostly what I'm looking at here. Kind of glad I mean, I'm definitely glad I pulled Shinobi out of this truck. It's been, I think, a little awkward. Alright. Pretty sure I don't get copyright claims on these either, which is nice. That's what it's all about, though. This is my favorite part. Like going from roughs to breakdowns, I think could be my favorite part. I like rendering, you know. Like once you have everything there, it's nice to do it. I feel like you can get addicted to that. It's like I don't know. I think you need to be careful about getting addicted to that stage. Alright. Truck. Looking at this thing, it's a little more than half of this part in the front is the truck bed. So like this will be half. It's gonna be something like this. Kind of have a tangent with this too low with that one. So also, guys, if you don't know about Star Circuit, whoever's watching, it's my cyberpunk racing comic that I'm working on. It is made some big jumps today. It's got a lot of going on. In the heat, I was managing to actually draw story shots. Pretty much into that. I'm in the phase of, I'm like in this phase over there. Just trying to get like the shots that I want to keep. You know, depending on what would be cool for different scenarios. Pretty much just playing around. It's a playful stage. You know. Alright, so this guy still has to be carrying something in here. We'll still make it reels of something. You know. And then we'll tarp it. Okay. What I don't like is that it's super center, and I wanted it more to the left for that purpose. It's gonna make it easier to do this kind of read through, but it's a little too much to the left. Could change the composition where the road bends way quicker. It goes out that way. And then this could be the farmland we're talking about, because this will be covered with some stuff. Still keeps it a very centered shot though. Oh man. Sorry guys. It's gotta move. But we drew it once, it's gonna go quick. It's really just moving it over almost an even length of it. So it's a very simple perspective, shouldn't be long. We'll just talk some more. Yeah, sometimes you want to draw on those rule of thirds lines, and that's what I'm trying to hit this time, so I screwed it up the first time. Okay, window. It's a little long. Alright, there's our wheel. Okay, so from here, truck bed. Tarp. Stuff inside. Yeah, man. For sure, dude. Alright, there's the truck. Seems legit. Let's just put a couple heads in here for the family. Put a little bit of axle down there. It's good enough for a breakdown for sure. The first one actually feels a little better, but this one, it's not bad. Could be worse. Yeah, that feels alright. Alright. Good. Now let's get back to that same take a look. Alright. Farmland, y'all. I'm familiar with it. I know, probably. I'm just doing rows of crops and stuff. And then in the background, the Japanese mountain range of sorts. Over here, we're putting like a farmhouse. We're gonna do some other buildings back here too. You know, more barns and warehouses and stuff. We could make it more Japanese oriented. If we'd like. But for now, just making it a building. Silo. Could put a porch around it. Seems a little big for the panel though, right? We're just gonna downsize it. I'll tell you what guys, I really like working on paper more than the iPad. It's got its uses for sure. Easy time-lapsing, easy experimentation, but I feel like when you work on paper, you're more conscious of your mistakes. So I think you'll learn more on paper for that reason. Keep note of that. I don't know, I think I just said something genius. Probably not genius, just it makes sense. It's, you know, whenever you're more conscious of what you're doing, you're making mental notes. And I think, you know what I mean, every time you have to like redraw something completely instead of move it, you're gonna remember it a little bit more. Maybe it's the secret to my my growth as an artist, because I've worked traditionally and kind of took the hard way rather than the easy way for the most part. I gotta look at more reference for like a front of a more Japanese style house, barn, you know, shelter. I mean, right now I'm just like kind of adding implied detail back here. Alright, so there's that. I think the road needs to be a little bigger. In fact, it's a little rough for breakdowns. Should be a little bit more clean than this. Now, in the beginning one, I think I did put a car going the opposite way. So for that, let's do this. Add some road lines here. Kind of the road gutter here. Alright, car the other way. Shouldn't be tough. Proportion is everything. I'm just throwing in a silhouette, really. That works. Excuse me. That's dude, 5 hours a day will take you leaps and bounds. You know what I mean? You got the way to think about it is, yeah, every hour you work, obviously you're helping yourself, but every time you're working and put in the extra hours, there's a lot of people that are not doing that, and you're just getting more skilled as they are, you know, not making that progress. So I do think it's no worries about the writing skills. I do think you're on a good path if you're gonna put that many hours in. You know, the more the better, you know. Pretty much write, or not write, but maybe writing is a good idea too, but drawing any chance you get. You know what I mean? Gotta get in the habit wherever you go, bring a sketchbook or be ready with a pen, or, you know, whatever you are comfortable with wherever you want to be. Alright. Mountains, trees. Yeah, there'll probably be some trees back here. Tree. That was a crappy tree. Maybe a tree in the foreground. Silo, warehouse. There can be like these rounder ones out here. Alright, cool. I think that's fine for me. Roscoe, you done? You want out? You want off? There you go. Alright. Let's do it. Alright, one panel is broken down pretty well. I mean, it's the establishing shot. No worries there. The next one is this family, which I actually like the positioning. Kind of, I think it's going to mesh well with what we're going to do. All I have to do is flip where they're at, like just the angle, just the perspective. So Dad's on this side still. Just roughing it in right now. Over here is the other end of the truck. Maybe push them a little closer. I don't know. All right. Truck seat. So with these shots, I mean, I always like putting in perspective because, I don't know, with perspective lines, I see, you know, it's pretty much that technique of, you know, seeing into the clouds. But it looks like we're at eye level, so you go to like an eye level point and you just throw in a few lines just to help you guide you a little bit. At this stage, you don't really need that many. I think that'll be fine. I'm just trying to find this middle section here where the C would be. All right. Looks like it's too small. Still too small. There's the seat. All right, so in front of here, woman and kid. Window. Okay. Could put that door panel in. Not sure if I'm going to. We'll see. All right, I'm gonna race away and do the little more technical stuff. All right. Let's give myself a little bit more of a point. All right, so the guy here, shape of the head's fine. I'm gonna make him like he's a farmer dude. I'm just going to throw in a little nose, a little smile. Eyes might be a little low. We shall see. Seems like that would be like that. Alright, it's good enough. I purposely put a shadow there to just show the depth and give me room to do it later. Alright. Kid. Right now it's looking like a boy. Could be a boy. Try to find our height for this. There, it should be right around here. I believe so. I need her turned a little bit looking at him. Whatever. That looks good. Got that 10 minutes. Sounds good. Maybe put the rear view here. that. Door should be lower, I think. Just a little bit. Which at some point you just don't see. I think just he needs to be more natural. Either hand goes there. Obviously the skull gets finessed later, but maybe stick it there. I don't know. That works. Let's do this silhouette behind the back. Everybody's shot here. I mean, it could do it that, or we could do it like a more exterior shot. Let's try that. All right, truck. Trying to be rough with it, just for a little bit longer here. So I don't know if I want to keep it. If we have a center vanishing, and we'll see a little bit of the front. And over here we'll get a little bit of this as well. Probably need to put in the dudes in there first. See what happens. Let's see. The truck, they're probably about this tall on this line. This one's fun because I'll get to draw guns. I think his reaction maybe has to be sad while they're still looking at him happy. I think that will work, because then this will happen. That's why you need a sharper pencil sometimes. Where's my mechanical at? No, I don't have to sharpen. It's 10 o'clock. Let me just finish this figure. We'll have this panel done. Maybe he has an Uzi. Cool. Still not happy with the middle one here and that one. Should be, but another couple gestures here. I think this is going to be a chick with a shotgun. think they both are going to be, maybe a couple of them wear masks. Or headbands or something. Let's see. I think we'll call it there. Let me just put these tarp in the back here. I think that'll work, really. The more I look at it. It's got a nice flow. I'm in. Alright guys, that is number 47 of the Kick-Ass Study Stream. Thanks for joining. I'm not working at all outside, so we'll probably pick up right here next time, finish this one, and then move it on to the next page with these breakdowns. I got a lot going on with Star Circus, so head over to patreon.com/my-name CatapanelArt, and yeah, if you want to see more on that, head over there. I got a lot of updates coming. I usually update Friday, so thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, 8 o'clock. Peace.